All right, here we go. Welcoming to the inaugural, very first podcast. We don't even have a title for this thing yet right now. But hello, hold on. This music's not shutting off. This is
off to a great start.
This is this is what happens when you buy shit off of Facebook Marketplace, I think. Hold on, let's just there we go. That's that's an intro. But hello, my name is Dan Pacheco. I'm a lot of things, but the internet defines me as the director of agent development at a place called Preferred Real Estate Brokers out of Central Florida, planet Earth. And today I am joined by one of my dearest friends in the biz, also just in general generic life. Her name is Carly Ruecker. She's also an agent, a very, very prolific and very awesome agent. We'll get into in a minute here about why those things are part of her. But she's part of the Citrus Twins. She's the Enchanted Agent. She is the #1 fan for Newfound Glory. She is the resident emo pop punk person in the office as well. So Carly, razzle dazzle, sprinkle the world. Is a little bit about who you are real quick.
Well, I am an identical twin, so that is a lot of my personality, but I am kind of working towards being an individual these days. I enjoy drinking beer, going to Disney, and going to concerts, and some real estate in there as well.
And podcast right now, right? I mean, exactly. that's basically it. Very cool. So Carly, I mean, like I said, to the people that are listening to this or watching this, I don't know, vibing with this, I don't know how they're experiencing this podcast, but you represent something very different, mostly in real estate. I mean, obviously you're just a very colorful person in many ways, but in real estate, again, is something that I can relate to. You don't fit the mold.
Nope.
Right. There is no mold. And sometimes, or oftentimes that's received really, 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 really well. That sometimes you have those people that, have, I think, 3 to 4 pleats in their khakis there.
Approximately.
Exactly. And they, they claim they're #1 agent in the University of Cosmos or Winter Garden or some shit like that.
Yep.
And by the way, too, you can say shit. You can say the F word on this.
Oh,
I think the way you pronounce. Oh, I thought it was just word. Like word.
Oh, sorry, Justin.
Word.
You're going to have to add a beep.
That's the F word, right? Word. What if that was just the entire podcast? Ford.
I like it. Okay.
Ford.
Write that down, Justin.
Ford.
Working title, Ford.
And for those that don't know, because he's such an integral part of our lives, he is essentially my own personal Tony Robbins and also videographer. Justin, if you hear the word Justin, for those that are listening, he's the guy that's behind all the optics and the technical stuff.
He's our
here
producer,
too.
if you will.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's our guy. He's not even looking at me right now. But anyway. So getting back into it, there's some people that out there that just don't get it. How do you deal with that? Do you deal with it, or is that where the beer comes into play?
You know what? I don't really deal with it because I really don't care, because if they're not vibing with who I am, then I don't really want to work with them anyway. So I kind of, just the way I am and act and present myself on social media, I attract people who are me and who want to work with me. So I don't really have to worry about the haters. So
that's so true. And then that's one thing that I love about working with you, is because I've seen really the rise of it. I've seen the development, because we were the first ones that you worked with when it comes to real estate, right? And so a lot comes with that. Yeah, seriously, I say that same thing too from my perspective with you. But yeah, it's hard to channel the negativity out, right? Especially with social media. It's because, again, you are winning very hard on social media, which again will plug you all over the place here in a second here. But and that's one thing I try to work with agents on, especially even kind of like self-coach my in my own way, is that no matter who you are, what you are, how you are, there's always going to be a massive following of people that say F you, right?
Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely.
No matter like what your beliefs are, whatever it is, but I've never seen this, but I'm sure there's like Facebook groups out there like fuck Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know. I'm not a deep diver into open your eyes and research and shit. But as far as what I know, he's a pretty cool guy. But there's groups out there, right?
I can think of a few groups that
I'm sure. But even still to the point of and obviously I'm not making any comparisons here by any stretch. But there's opposite religions. There's atheists. There's agnostic people that just don't like something, right?
Exactly.
And so when it comes to doing stuff that you do, how we do, or how anyone out there that's doing things in their own way, those people that have a problem with it, they come with it. That's part of the package.
They're just noise. And
Yeah.
that's all it
Again,
is.
it's all I hear is again.
Yep.
Which again, I'm going to overdo these sound effects, by the way. Which I'm going to kind of channel my inner Zach Galifianakis with the play of these two. They're so fun. Okay, cool. So talk to me real quick a little bit about. Actually, you know what? We have real estate to get to, and we'll go back there. How many times have you seen New Found Glory?
I can't even count, honestly. I would say upwards of at least 100 times at this point.
Now,
Because
for those of you that weren't indoctrinated in the school of pop punk emo back in the early 2000s and stuff, tell me a little bit about New Found Glory.
well, they are a pop punk band that is actually from Florida. They're from
Get
Coral
out of
Springs.
town.
Yes. And you might know them for their popular hit My Friends Over You, which is hell yeah. Which is one of the couple of songs that they broke into mainstream radio. But
Oh yeah, that was an anthem for me, man.
It
I mean, I remember
was.
listening to that back when you purchased compact discs.
Exactly.
And
That,
carried
I
around them
remember
little.
buying the CD. And,
Yeah, I was like
and
so hyped
yeah,
on this.
it was great.
So you've seen them how many times?
Oh, probably at least 100, I would
Where's
say.
the furthest place you've seen them from?
Not very far. Jacksonville, because they're from Florida, they tour in Florida every time they go on tour. So thankfully I don't have to go too far, but
Nice.
yes.
Awkward pause. Sorry. There'll be about 6 of those in
That's
today's
okay.
cast here. Yeah, man. I mean, I used to vibe with them too. Like New Found Glory, you have to, of course, package them with. I mean, I think they were associated with like Good Charlotte a lot too.
Oh,
like,
my favorite.
yes,
New Found Glory. That's actually how I found New Found Glory. Was they
was
were
through
touring with Good
GC?
Charlotte
Really?
and the Honda Civic tour in like 2004 or 3.
Yeah. I
forget.
think I saw that too.
I was
Actually,
a young little lad, sophomore in high school, and my dad had to take us to the concert because we
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
drive.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
In I mean, I think Good Charlotte. I kind of lost like interest in them a little bit when because now it's like at the point where it's like, oh, they're getting too like
They got a
too
little bit
poppy,
too
and,
mainstream.
like,
They all married like celebrities. I was
which, I
over
mean, you
it.
can't be mad as an adult now. I'm like, fuck, that's the great scalability.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? They managed the
absolutely.
portfolios very, very well. Right? They adapted new audiences nicely.
But
but
like 10 years ago, we're like, they're such sellouts.
was it
15, 20. I
shit,
don't
it's probably
know.
25. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God,
I have
kill
no
me.
idea. Classic rock now these days, right?
Right.
But yeah, New Found Glory, The Used, I was really big into
Yes,
them.
same.
Thrice, if you know, I was feeling a little bit
Mhm.
harder there, kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, those are some good stuff. And the funny thing, I'm taking back Sunday too, but here's the funny thing, and this is kind of we can correlate this to real estate, I think. I've not caught any of their reunion tours yet. I know you have.
Whereas that's why I sell real estate so that I have money to
Yes,
go to every reunion
yes.
tour, buy every T-shirt, buy every freaking record.
Right.
So.
But let me ask you this though. Okay, so I remember being in the pit, I'm being pushed around where I'm
Same.
wearing my little, extra small band t-shirt, my oversized Dickies and girl
Yep.
jeans. I used to wear girl jeans, no big surprise.
Shocking.
All that stuff. But I remember it being really action packed. They were jumping all over the place, hand behind the back and bending, all this crazy stuff. But they're like 40 plus now.
They still
So-
do it. They still get
They
up there.
do it, but
and-
do they really do it though?
Yes, well, actually, a couple times ago, that I saw New Found Glory, the lead singer Jordan had broken his foot.
Exactly my point.
And he was still jumping all over the stage. I was like, dude, you're gonna need have
Okay.
permanent damage.
Follow-up
they
question.
still give it. They
Follow-up
still
question.
Give it.
Okay, I'll go with you there that they still send it and give it and stuff. But how many days are between each tour date? Do they have a recovery?
They're still honestly they are freaking beasts. Like I don't think they're going
Okay.
anywhere. They're back to back to back. So
All right, I'll buy
yes.
into it.
And
I
I'm not
love.
just saying that. They
Okay.
are.
Well, I like the fact that they can keep on going and stuff. I mean, there's
They're
some.
not that old. They're like in their like
But I
they're
have
like
to-
a little older than us, Dan.
But listen, I
okay?
have to imagine, okay, having a long career, a few years, over a decade or so, touring the world, jumping around off of your amps and stuff, and shoes that do not have proper arch support, and there's a lot of things that can happen
They
to
need a
you.
Dr. Scholl's.
Are they
sponsorship.
getting enough calcium? They're probably not, right? Unless it's in their Starbucks.
You
I
know
don't
what?
think.
I think they are. I think they
Well.
found a formula that works to keep
All right.
them young and.
All right. Well, I'll
know.
buy into it because again, like obviously you're the, like I said, the resident, emo pop punk thing. So I trust you. I value your opinion, and we'll go from there. All right, cool. So, and then the way I kind of correlate that to real estate is again, I think those agents that have been in there for so long, that are they have the go left, go right.
Mhm.
Do I stay current with the times? Do I keep? Am I still able to jump around on stage, or do I just not give the stage up but don't adapt to the changes and do things?
Mhm.
And then when you go that latter route there, I think that's when you start to run into a lot of, again, just those. It becomes frustrating, right?
Mhm.
it's a lot of times met with, well, I've been in the business for this long and this is why you need to listen to me kind of thing, right? I mean, have you dealt with any of those agents? I mean, again, as a young agent, obviously in spirit, in birth certificate-ness, but also again in tenure, as far as how long you've been in the business, which again, I think that your achievement, your level of success so far in real estate is disproportionate to the amount of time you've only been in it, in a good way. Like you've done more than most people in your graduating class, so to speak. So how do you deal with those agents that, again, try to flex the fact that they used to shop at Sears and Roebucks every Sunday?
It used to intimidate me, and it does sometimes if I know I'm going up against an agent that's been doing it for a while or whatever, but I just go in there myself, and I'm freshly trained. I have the most up-to-date training. I'm constantly learning. So I feel like my skills are a little bit more polished than some because, you come across some of these agents that have been doing it for so long and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I've come across some funky things out there. Some of the more tenured agents are doing. So
Do you say funky?
Funky things.
Funky things.
Yes.
It sounds like
some very interesting things I've seen. And I'm like, how did you come to that conclusion? But
it's crazy. I mean, it's I have sympathy for them. I mean, I've tried to have sympathy and empathy for everybody that come across. And I mean, what do you think spurs that? I mean, because there are agents out there that have been in the business for 30 years that are like still the coolest. They're still current. They're relevant. I mean, they have their proven stuff that still works. And so it's not like saying, oh, just because you did it 45 years ago doesn't mean, no, it's nothing's dead. Like, the tactics still work. There's still the good old fashioned traditional things that still bang, still hit really hard in an awesome way. But what do you think causes someone to just become, on the other side, that negative, veteran in a sense?
I mean, this industry is not for the faint of heart. It's really hard sometimes. And I feel like some people maybe get burnt out or bitter or complacent. And I feel like that kind of feeds into it a lot. Like, sometimes I feel like I've been in 7 rounds of a boxing ring after a transaction, and I can't imagine doing that for 40 years straight. It's exhausting. So if you don't have, the right brokerage support system, and if you're just not a positive person, you would obviously end up in that position as well. Like, it's got to beat you down eventually. So
I vibe with you on that. I agree with it. And then it's, I always talk about real estate being one of the most conflicted and just kind of internally tumultuous industries out there. And I mean that in the sense of, okay, so let's just say, for instance, that you and I are both, well, you're playing the part of an agent here. I'm playing the part of a podcast guy, a podcast guy. So you as an agent, there's internal conflict happening. So depending on what side of the call you're on, you could be saying, hey, this room is, really small, cozy, and easy to take care of. Or this room is way too fucking small, you see what I'm saying? Like, right? Absolutely. Buy side, sell side, you're seeing the same room, but you're describing it differently to benefit your customer, or sometimes yourself in some ways, not you, but just generally speaking. So you have internal conflict there.
Yes, absolutely.
And then internal conflict meets external conflict. And just because we're on the other side of a closing table, you represent one side, I'm the other side. Even though I like you, we had a great time at the last realtor convention together, but because we're on the other side of a deal, we have to fight. I love you, but we have to fight.
But I also want to choke you.
Exactly, right? Right. And so that's it's just a weird thing that happens. These patterns that they fall into. And internal meets external conflict. It's just conflict, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's not celebrated to, have the retreat, to chill out, recenter, reground. You hear like all those agents that are, practicing, or not practicing, my God, hashtagging empathy, spirit, go like it's bullshit, right?
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
It
So it's again, one thing I love about working with you is that you're not afraid, at least, to come to us and like freaking out, sometimes panic, sometimes stress, sometimes whatever it is. And it's because you care, you're trying to, but then you don't bring that to your customers though. Like you're able to, be like, swirling over here, center it down, find a plan of action to go into, hear it out, bounce ideas off of each other, and then move it. And then bang, it's a freaking Carly enchanted agent, citrus twin, deal there. Speaking of that, what the hell is an enchanted agent? What is an enchanted agent, Carly?
An enchanted agent is an agent who resides in Orlando, Florida, and has a love for Disney and wants to attract other people who have a love for Disney and want to buy real estate around this area. Hell yeah.
And so that was a great answer right there. That was a good description too of a very specific person sitting in front of me. So you are the enchanted agent now, right?
I am.
Now this is not something that's been like super. I wish I didn't had a sound effect. There's out there, yet because it's still emerging,
Yes.
right? And so
Still in progress.
let's pin that right here, and then zoop on. Going back in time now to a day where we were sitting the very first meeting and you were talking to me about this thing that you and your sister were doing as far as like a brand goes,
Yes.
right? What was that and what has it grown into?
Well, so originally, Chris and I, my twin sister, we had an Instagram account before we became realtors, and
Tell me more.
it wasn't that great. It was lifestyle, but we weren't consistent. We didn't really know, all of the ins and outs of social media. So it was fine, but we always knew we kind of wanted to spin that into our real estate career because we already had, probably close to 1,000 followers, and why not segue that into real estate?
And this was again the name was Citrus Twins.
Oh no, back in the day we were the 407 Twins.
Oh, wait, wasn't that like a little like Wayne group back in like
Was
2001?
it?
The
It might have
407
been.
Twins or the Hot Boys.
We never got sued.
I don't know why I got
so.
confused with that. 407 Twins and Hot Boys.
But anyway, we didn't want to keep the name 407 Twins because we didn't want people to think we only sold in the 407.
Right.
So then this lovely director of agent development sitting across from us kind of brainstormed, hell yeah. And we kind of decided we wanted a brand that reflected Winter Garden, which is where we live and where we sell, which was built on orange groves. And then it's also in Orange County, Florida. So kind of just a spin on
Double
the
orange.
orange. But we're a little bit edgy too, so we didn't want it to be too frou-frou. So we're like, you know
Right.
what? We love that like old Florida, old style tattoo kind of thing. Like, let's spin off of that.
Hell yeah.
That's
Hold
kind
on,
of
hold
hell yeah.
Sorry.
That's kind of how the Citrus Twins came to be after lots and lots of meetings with Mr. Dan Pacheco.
Oh hell yes. That's gonna be actually. It's already working. That little sound bite is stuck in my head. And that's obviously her voice, by the way, that we looped here. But oh my god, it's gonna be inside of me. It's in me already.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I mean the Citrus Twins. That's some heat right there.
Yes.
I mean, like I've had agents that have been of not even just in Central Florida. I've had Colorado agents say, "Oh my god, the Citrus Twins. You get to work with them." Yeah, I get to work with them.
Damn straight.
Yeah, I bring them their coffee.
He does.
But it's a huge brand. It's huge. So yeah, like you said, it's identifiable, and I've seen, and this is one of my favorite things about what a strong brand does, and you've been like the model brand with this. Like you've done it. I have seen agents trying to use your color palettes that are very specific or kind of rip your vibe a little bit. And the first thing I see is I'm scrolling at 100 miles an hour with my thumb is, oh, cool, Carly and Chris have a new thing up, right? No, oh shit, it's not there, because obviously I know your brand intimately. I'm like, oh, that didn't look totally there. It's like, it looks a little off. I look at somebody else doing your shit, right? It's so fun though. It's so great.
flattering.
But that's what it works, because again, even though they were trying their hardest, I just have to imagine them spending, probably 6 hours in Canva, trying to go through something and like make something happen in Canva, to post. And I still think of you guys.
Well, that's very flattering, but I'm also very glad that I did not see that, because I probably wouldn't have been too happy, but
It's good though. You can't stop it. I mean, how many,
You're right.
like there's once a great idea happens, boom, 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 more.
That's true.
Shit
That's
happens.
basically all of social media. It's just ripping everyone off. of
Exactly.
everything.
Exactly. And so Citrus Twins has evolved. Okay. So it still largely is, but its origin was, hey, we want to incorporate not just homes, not just, roofs, hardwood floors and all these. We want to make sure that you understand where you're moving to, what makes this area so great. Again, you focused more so on Winter Garden, but as to your point was when you didn't want to do the 407 Twins with a Z or whatever the hell it was, right? You wanted to make sure that you were seen to be able to help everywhere else,
Yes.
right? And so mentioning that, Citrus Twins, real estate with a twist or a squeeze of lifestyle, but now it's done so well. And I mean, I'm breaking all sorts of NDAs here and stuff for you, I'm sure, but I mean, you've got attention from production companies, from TV shows. You've got, I mean, you're being seen now. You're having local places reach out to you, say, hey, would you come and bite into our French toast or whatever it is and take a picture? You're having fucking Denny's. I mean, fucking Denny's, right? Reaching out to you.
Yep.
And I mean, I never thought in my life I'd be sitting in front of a Denny influencer.
I know, right?
Is there a special club, like Grand Slammers? You know, what do you call yourselves?
I mean, like a plaque on the wall.
Seriously, but I mean, that's so cool because again, you're not reaching out to them saying,
Nope.
"Hey, can I please come to Denny's and sit in the booth?" And it's like, no, like they're reaching out to you.
Yep. Pretty cool.
Talk to me about all of that.
Well, one thing that we always knew we kind of wanted to do was, like Dan mentioned, of course, enough real estate to let people know what we do, but we always wanted to focus more on lifestyle because we're going more for the angle of making people fall in love with us. And then if they...
I can't stop. I'm sorry. You have to write this one out. I'm sorry. Listening. Sorry.
If they happen to, like, you know, see a picture of us out in Winter Garden, or, you know, we do a lot of local business recaps and stuff, and then the local businesses will share our posts, and then someone might be like, oh, that looks fun. Let me click on their profile. And then in our bio, they say, see, oh, they're realtors. That's cool. So kind of like wanting to attract people without shoving real estate down their throat. And it's worked very well. You know, a lot of people feel like real estate is very high pressure and very salesy. And this is kind of a nice way to go around that and circumvent it. But people really seem to respond to it. So,
and it's true. I mean, again, like you're getting, you know, I'm sure all sorts of things sliding into your DMs, but sometimes more frequently now it's like, hey, I'm a buyer and I'm pre-qualified for $1.25 million. What you got in Orlando? You know, and I mean, you're closing those deals. That's amazing. And again, you're not having to run ads, you know, and like you said, you know, say, okay, open wide. Down their throats.
Exactly.
They're like, you know, happy to, you know, I shouldn't keep going with a mouth reference there. That's a weird analogy for me to go on because I understand, again, this might only be audio that you're listening to this on and you don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I'm going to sit on my hands right now and just move on to this topic here. But yeah, it's these people are attracted to you. They already bought into, they're sold on the idea of working with you. They want to work with you. They believe it's an experience to work with you.
Which
and
it is. It absolutely is. Hell yeah.
It is. I'm so glad we did this. And that's the beautiful thing about it. I mean, that's exactly what a strong brand does. And again, this is, Carly, you've heard this a billion times. It's experiences. Again, it's a whole exploding crazy sparkler milkshake. You know, I'm sure you could even research this now. People go into those places that, you know, the sugar factory, which again, that's like, that is my Vietnam. Like that is, and I'm sure this podcast just got canceled.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're canceled already, and we haven't
just got canceled. It's been a nice 45 minutes. But I mean, what I mean by that, it's just, it stresses me the hell out in there.
It does. It's so
have
sticky.
So many things. I mean,
so gross.
I have depression. I have anxiety. I have all these. It's just not a good place for me.
Yeah, same.
Right?
I agree.
So anyway, backtrack. Dan, put it together, pal. Backtrack. Yeah. So people are going for those places and dealing with all that craziness there because those milkshakes that have the sparklers, cotton candy, and all the stuff dripping down the sides of it, they're dealing with long lines because everybody wants one. They're dealing with premium prices because those places can charge people crazy money for it. And they're dealing with really bad customer service because those poor servers are tired of making those things.
Yes, they are.
And they're doing that because they're not hungry, but because it's fun. They take one bite, go into a sugar coma, but it looks cool on Instagram.
Hashtag do it for the gram.
Exactly. And so you created that experience, but you're not, you know, one bite and done. People want to keep coming back for more and more and more. And that's a beautiful thing. Talk to me real quick about what it felt like to get that first request from a business to be like, hey, y'all are cool. We're real. We're not trying to spam you. Like, how'd it feel to be seen?
I mean, it was pretty cool. It just shows that people respect us in the area and they see our impact and they believe that us promoting their business will be helpful to them. So kind of just validates everything that we've been doing, which is awesome.
And how many requests are you getting, you know, on a routine basis now? I mean, is it like a weekly thing, monthly thing, or just kind of here and there?
I would say like maybe once a week, maybe once every other week, something like that.
Have there been any really, really weird places yet?
Thankfully, no. We did get one like fitness company, and I feel so bad for the guy because like we wanted to do it, but I'm like, I don't feel like getting my ass kicked. Like I just don't want to do it. I'm not interested in doing a HIIT class. So, sir, if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry.
I'm sure it's great.
Nothing personal.
I'm sure it's great. You know, I have a story with that too. So, you know, I like to be in front of the camera. I like to be with agents, you know, and there's one time when we went out to a place called Cycle
Oh,
Bar.
yes.
Yeah, and Dr. Phillips, Florida. And I mean, it's a fun experience. About experience, right? It's a fun thing. We had our cycle star Diego out there. He's the guy that just like destroyed me in the 5 minutes that I had. But I went out there with one of our agents, Kennard, like super awesome guy. I love that guy so much. But yeah, so we did an interview with him on the spin bike, right? And then, you know, Diego did his thing. And then at the end of it, you know, and mind you, we set this thing up like with like the owner or the manager of it, right? And so he knew we were coming in just for the video. Kennard was already a paying subscriber, monthly, whatever, however it works over there, to be there. And, you know, I'm breaking down, getting my legs back underneath me, getting my shoes back on, and just, you know, casually chatting with the manager of it, right? And this guy, my God, like just hardcore sales. And again, like I've been in, you know, the shitty sales things, you know, oh, you have to give these quotas. I've done it. I get what he's doing. I know it.
Understood.
I appreciate it, brother. You know, I'm cool with that. I'm not
Appreciate the hustle.
but my God, like the people in there, the poor, like cycle stars, like the person behind the computer, they were feeling uncomfortable.
They're probably just cringing.
And like this guy was just like,
internally.
you know, I was like, hey man, you know, like I really don't want, you know, to sign up. I'm really cool. I just want to be out here. He's like, well, we can get you in a membership. You know, you don't have to sign up. You know, it's just freeze it anytime you want to. Like, I don't. I said no so many times. I just broke it down. I said, man, I don't have my credit card. Well, that's fine. We probably have one on file for you. Have you ever been here before? I'm like, no, I haven't been here before. He's like, well, let me see your name. Let me type your name
Oh
real
my
quick.
gosh.
Oh, you live at this address? I'm like, how the fuck do you have my address? And he's like, this is your card? I'm like, no, that's not it. I don't know what he was trying to so hard. He was like looking me up and like, I don't know how it happened.
He was trying to break you. That's what
trying to break me. And like the weirdest thing was, and like, not the weirdest thing, but his last thing was like, hey, you got nice legs. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you should work on them more. You got nice legs. I'm like, man, I don't even know where to go with it. It was just the weirdest like sales funnel strategy thing ever. I felt like I was there in the Twilight Zone again. But I bring all that up not just to, you know, share a weird story. I have tons of those.
We love it.
But you're not that person. You're not that, hey, nice legs guy, right? You're someone that is not, again, starving for the sell. You don't have commission breath, and you're not trying to make people uncomfortable, right? I mean, you really are looking at the bigger picture there. And I think that's why a lot of agents look at real estate as such a competitive blood sport, because at any given part of the, you know, any given time, 5% of the world is looking to buy, sell, or invest, right? And every agent out there is, you know, going up the top ropes, DDTing, you know, knuckle blasting, backhanding, all these other agents to get their attention, that 5%, right? Whereas you're out there amongst the 95%. It's a little bit more sparse out there. You know, you're in the woods, or I don't know where, you know, just kind of in the wild, so to speak. But you're finding these people, making connections with them, and genuinely making connections. And so when they decide that they're going into that 5% bloodbath range there, like they're like, hey, Carly, you're like, you want, you know, we're ready to buy, sell, or invest, or whatever it is. And boom, like they go straight to you.
Yep.
That's a beautiful thing.
It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing. So, I mean, what are some things out there that you just think people should know about when it comes to, again, real estate in Florida? Like, I mean, what's today's? This is the July, what now? July 8th, 11:31 a.m. year 2022. I say that to timestamp this, and so, like, you know, because things change so fast. But in this exact minute on this day, what are some things that people should think about or know about real estate?
Well, we've definitely seen a little bit of a cool down, especially in Central Florida, which is a huge relief, especially because I tend to attract buyers, which I love. But it's been a tough year and a half for buyers, and we're finally starting to see a little bit of a downturn, which is a huge sigh of relief. Like, it literally, I have felt like I've been in a boxing match for the last year and a half. It's just, you know, because I do care so much and I pour everything into my transactions, but, you know, it gets exhausting, either getting beaten out or houses flying off the market before you have a chance to write up an offer. And we are definitely like seeing a huge cool down, I would say. You know, it started out a little bit subtle, and I was kind of like, like, okay, like maybe it'll get a little bit easier, but we're still gonna have, you know, the same competition and stuff. And you know, it's to the point now where I have 6 different builders blasting my email every day
Oh, they're
with
trying to be cuddle buddies
immediate
again.
inventory, move in 30 days, no wait lists, all of these crazy incentives for realtors. And I'm like, oh, where were you 2 months
Well,
ago
give us
when
some
you were gaslighting me?
give
Like,
us give
no.
us some context on that, because not everyone knows this. I mean, we see it, we laugh at it when you're like, when sometimes we're hurt by it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so like builders, you know, a lot of them are pretty cool. And generally speaking, when it comes to
Mhm.
working with agents, they'll be, you know, on the up and up. So, you know, offer good incentives or commissions to bring buyers to them and stuff. But like you mentioned, with the, you know, rise of this crazy the last 2.5 years of it being such an intense seller's market, these builders are like, you know what? Here's a Chili's gift card, and I don't even know how much is on it, but here's your commission.
Yep.
Like it's
Literally.
gotten so bad, and someone's like flat out said, "No, we're not paying you,"
Yes.
right? But
Mhm.
now, as you again said, they're like, "Oh, well, you know, I was just kind of in a weird mood. I was going through some shit.
Like,
Just,
well, basically.
hey, let's get some lunch or some dinner." You know,
Or they just like pretend it never happened and they're like,
Yo,
oh, net
even
offering
worse, even worse.
whatever incentive, this much commission, blah blah blah. We've always loved our realtor
Yeah,
as
exactly.
well. I'm like,
My favorite one,
okay.
and I mean, like, if this was like not in this office at 101 South Eola Preferred Real Estate Brokers office, I would name a name of a builder.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my mouth shut. I think
But
everyone
I
can pick
saw
up what
one.
we're
It
putting
was
down.
the worst one. It's like, you know, the worst builder, like, as
Yep.
far as the commissions
I
go.
already know.
Yeah, I saw a promotion from them saying, "You asked for it, we listened. Now offering like some
Ugh.
like $600."
Yeah,
It was
cheat
still
things.
bad,
Yep.
but they were trying to spin how terrible they were. They were the ones that were, again, they flat out said,
Yep.
"We'll offer 0.075 commission," and then some places we're not offering commission at all. Like we don't need you guys. Like it was that builder right there saying, "You asked, we listened." Here you go. And I thought that was the funniest thing to see that.
Which is funny because I'm still getting a ton of emails from that builder and they have refused to acknowledge the fact that they haven't really been doing such a good job with realtors the last year. And they keep like, I keep getting excited because I'm like, oh, finally, like they're turning around. And yesterday I just got an email from them like, all of these great buyer incentives, which is awesome. I'm so thrilled about that because it's just, even if they're not paying great, like I don't care because I just, you know, would rather someone find a house they love and
Yeah.
whatever. But they send like a 4-paragraph email about all of these great incentives they're offering and nothing about what they're doing with their realtor partner. So I had to bite my tongue. I almost responded and said, hey, when are you gonna, you know, remember the people who are bringing you buyers? And I was like, you know what? I better just turn this ass down a little bit today. It's not like, clearly when they're ready, they'll do it, whatever. But we're not going to forget, you know,
No.
who. And it's like, it's again, of course, we're all working. We're here to make money and pay our bills and stuff. And at the end of the day, if someone wanted to see a house at one of those builders that's not paying so much, I've taken them there time and time again. I'm never going to tell someone no, but I'm certainly not going to go out of my way to go film their model homes and post it on my platforms and, you know, try to attract
Right.
buyers to that builder. So it's like, you know,
Yeah.
it's very frustrating.
And again, and I think that's, I mean, you're a business.
Yeah.
You, Carly, agent listening, any agent out there, you're literally your own small business. You're a local business, right? And for those of you that aren't in real estate, you need to see your realtor as a true small business vendor in your neighborhood. Like you have your, you know, your farmers market vendors and stuff. Like your agent should have, you know, their spot at a farmer's market, so to speak, because they are a local business. They're not a corporate, you know, entity. Even if they are working for one of those big ass, you know, big box, you know, brokerages and stuff, the agent still is a small business. Okay. And so you have to think about that. Now, again, you said that you still bring your people to those builders if you know that, like, hey, I love the style of this neighborhood. If it's a bad builder or one that you again won't pay you anything, I love that you still bring them there, because again, like that, you're not going to let that stand in the way. Even if you don't get paid, you're still going to be there to help somebody. But to the same point of that, like you just said, you're not going to actively or proactively go out there and try to market these communities that again are just like not helping you out.
Exactly.
Because that'd be so silly as far as a business move goes. Like, why would you go out there and market something that's, you know, for free basically, or, you know, so.
And I actually have an example. So I was working with some buyers the other day and they, unfortunately, this builder was promoting themselves in the MLS. So they found a listing and I was like, all right, let's go out there. But I happen to know of another builder right down the street who offered a better product, in my opinion. And so I was like, okay, well, let's go there first and then we'll go check out this neighborhood next. And I knew that they would love it more. And guess what? We're under contract. So You know, it's hell yeah. It's not that I wouldn't have done that anyway, but it was just a little bit more like, you know, celebration. Like I still did what was
Heck
right.
yeah.
I still took them to where they wanted to go, but I just added a little bit more and it paid off, thankfully. But
Proud of you for that.
if it didn't pay off, you know, I would have still been happy. They're moving here from another state. They're going to make friends, get jobs, have referrals. And you kind of have to look at the big picture. Like it's still money in your pocket because even though they're not paying a lot, they're still paying something. And another transaction under your belt, more lessons and things like that. So that's, sometimes I look at it like that. Like I learned a lot, another new construction under my belt, things to look out for, things to avoid in the future.
That's chef's kiss right there. That's I love that mentality. I think that's one thing I'm so excited again that I get to work with you on a daily basis with this stuff. Let's if I'm pronouncing this correctly, pivot to a different topic. You're into running as well.
Yes.
Right. And you said beer drinking before too. And again, from my days of running, I know that those things typically go hand in hand pretty well. Right.
yeah,
and so
absolutely.
what are you're training for something that's kind of fun. I've done this a few times, but what are you training for in January, Carly?
I'm training for the Walt Disney World Marathon.
Oh, yes.
26.2 miles. It'll be my second time running it.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. You're nervous?
I am. It's just a huge feat. And the first time I was.
You have huge feet, you said?
Yes. Yeah, I have huge feet. Oh my gosh. But it is a lot. And I struggle a lot mentally with running versus physically. My brain is constantly telling me I'm tired and I should stop. So I almost feel like going into it the second time, it's going to be harder because I know what to expect. Whereas the first time I had never run one before. But I think it'll be fun and I'm excited. I'm just not looking forward to the lengthy training, which is starting here pretty soon.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it both ways with that, right? You said it's gonna be harder this time because you know what to expect, right? So you know the torture,
yes.
you know when you get to a certain mile marker, that that smack that comes to the face kind of thing. You know what's around the corners there, but you also again know what's around the corners.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And it's one of those things too that I mean, this is when was the last time you did the Disney Marathon?
2017.
This is well before real estate for you.
Oh yes, this is well.
So I believe that you will have a better going at this marathon because you are in real estate, and I believe so is because it's the same thing. And again, many hats, many lives ago, I used to again train coach. I was certified for it, getting people to go from couch to 5K or from marathon to 50 or 100 miler. Like I all of that, right? And the biggest thing was, yes, of course, making sure that everybody stays in shape and good and the body systems are up and running and keeping healthy and stuff. Emotional endurance was the biggest part of it though, right?
I believe it.
Emotional endurance is the same thing that you practice on a daily basis. And again, there's not much difference than what I used to train when I had people out there running, sweating, going crazy, in the Florida heat or on the track or whatever it was, versus, when I deal with people that are, wearing, blazers and stuff, on the inside, on the other side of the MLS or whatever. Same stuff, right? Marathon running, like real estate, is a game that's designed to suck at times. It's not designed to be comfortable, right? It's designed to have a glorious payoff or achievement at the end of it, but it's not designed to be a fun, frolicky, comfy time. If you're pursuing that, then you're not going to go put your running shoes on. You're going to leave you said you have huge feet, your size 12 bunny slippers on, before you're not going to take them off, right? You stay in the bunny slippers all day long, kind of thing.
On the couch.
Same thing with real estate. If you don't want one of those contact sports or one of those things that you can hey, it's a very experimental industry too, is when it comes to marketing, branding, getting attention, being in front of people, all these things. You don't know when you're going to get that payoff or that hit, right? And so these things you don't know how it's going what's going to happen there. The blisters, the side cramps, the haters,
right,
for real estate, the toenails falling out, all this stuff, right? Or again, those agents on the other side, those builders, that aren't awesome. Those customers that sometimes just need a little bit extra help navigating, but maybe they, something happened. All these crazy things happens, right, to create challenges. But when you get those challenges, just like again, when you get those blisters or your face starts to pound a little bit from running, you overheat. All of these things mean that you're doing it correctly. There's no way to run a marathon without a blister or two, or without a little bit of a side cramp here and there, or without doubting yourself. There's no way to do real estate successfully without doubting yourself or having the challenges, the strife, the bumps. There's no way to do it to get to that finish line or get to that closing without those things happening. So I honestly believe that you will do much better this go around at the Disney Marathon than last time because you've been in real estate.
Well, I'll let you know in January.
Hell yes. Yes, you will. All right, Carly. Well, is there anything else that you think, is there anything you want to talk about? We have the microphones here all set up. We spent 16 freaking hours trying to get this set figured out. We have a beautiful, these are I don't know what those are.
Poppies.
Peonies. I don't know. I'm not a flower guy. Anything you want to mention right now? Just bring up, talk about.
I don't know.
It's a Friday.
Don't put me on the spot like this.
It's a Friday day. It's what it's fun. What do you want to say?
I don't know. Well, you can't put me on the spot like that.
This whole thing's been on the spot. You've been on the spot the entire time. You literally have lights on you and a microphone and everything.
I don't know. What should we talk about?
Let's talk about I don't know.
Just at least give me like a prompt or something. Damn.
A prompt. What do you think about
about your excessive breathing into the microphone?
Listen. Okay. So now we have a problem with breathing now, Carly. Okay. Listen. This has been a delight. And I don't say that just because I have a camera rolling on me and I'm liable, for how we go here and stuff.
Yeah. It's okay. You already got us canceled once, so.
But no,
not bad though.
truly, all the way, on stage, loud screaming. I'm so excited to be able to work with you. You are, again, a representation of, I believe, what is needed in real estate, not just from my perspective, but from what the market, the consumers, the people out there, they want people like you. They want Carly. They want the Citrus Twins. They want the Enchanted Agent, which again, I think we need to get more into even the next go around, right? Because right now it's still bubbling, it's still merging. And I'm really excited about it. Like, I'm really excited to see what the Enchanted Agent turns into, because of course I get to be in the backstage of it. I get to see what's happening, underneath and help develop parts of it. And it's going to be fucking cool. It's going to be
I'm excited.
Forward cool. So yeah, Carly, how do people get in touch with you? Do they write you to a PO box?
Smoke signal is what I prefer.
Reply 6 to 8 business weeks later. How do they do this with you?
Honestly, I'm on Instagram most of the time. So
thank you for being honest.
That's the easiest way, or email. But my email address is on all of my Instagram posts. So I would say either follow the Citrus Twins FL or the Enchanted Agent. And,
one last question.
Pound that subscribe button.
Pound that subscribe button. Pound it. Oh, that was the wrong sound effect. That's a weird pound. Real quick. Tell me why it's Citrus Twins FL on the IG and not just Citrus.
Well, because the Citrus Twins handle is taken by a pair of cats named Clementine and Tangerine, who have, I think, 5 followers in 2 posts. So
Clementine and Twist off? Oh, Twist off. Tangerine. I don't know. There's a Smirnoff or something. Clementine and Tangerine, if you're listening right now, cats, please
give us our handles.
Give us the handle. Maybe even do a little collab up.
We'll send some fancy feast or something. I don't know.
You know a way to a cat's heart. All right. Well, Carly, again, I absolutely love you. Thank you so much for being here. And for those of you that have been listening and watching this, all I can say is I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
Me too.
No, I'll say call Carly, follow Carly, Citrus Twins FL, because of gosh darn cats, Clementine, these freaking cats, or the Enchanted Agent on Instagram, or again, anyway, you see her in public. She's very visible. Follow, see her maybe at Denny's or whatever else big brand asked them to grace their pages with them, their talents and stuff. As I do the most awkward sign out ever, as I finally have a tongue tie here. I've been, again, what the internet calls Dan Pacheco, and I do appreciate you listening to this podcast. You can catch us live every day of the week, Monday through Sunday, because it's called the internet. And even if we have this one episode, you can just hit play anytime you want to. All right. So with that said, I'm going to hit this awesome outro music. Oh yeah, baby. This is Newfound Glory, right?
It is.
All right. And Carly, shake my hand here very much.
My hand's very sweaty.
That is very sweaty. All right, and guys, toodles. Thank you. Bye.